Hello everybody and welcome back to the series of Nakshatras. We're on video number 20 out of 27, which will be on the Nakshatra of Purva Ashada. So what is Purva Ashada? Where is that located? Well, we've made it all the way to Sagittarius, so this is now the second time. The second sign in the fire sign of Sagittarius, the second sign that's completely in Sagittarius. So it's just one division of Sagittarius, and I believe it goes from 13 degrees 20 minutes to 26 degrees 40 minutes of Sagittarius. Sag, of course, is a mutable fire sign ruled by Jupiter. But Purva Ashada has a lot of characteristics on its own which add on to that and which modify that a little bit. So let's take a look and see what they are. First of all, its caste is Brahmin. So this is, I guess some would consider this to be the highest of the castes, but it certainly is the most spiritual, the most priestly class. So it's generally characterized by a luxurious life with little effort. The other castes do all the work, but the priests provide other types of more spiritual services, so they don't really have to do the physical labor, so they get to enjoy the fruits of society for that reason. Its nature is Manushya, which means human, so it's sort of a human priest in that respect. Its ruler is Venus, and so if Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, which is a very sort of strong, knowledgeable planet, and then Venus sort of would soften that up a little bit, be a little bit more in tune with feelings, and still Sagittarius, but a little bit of Venusian energy added into that, so that changes things a little bit. Its symbol, its most common symbol, is a handheld fan, so like one of those like folded paper fans, which can be used in 4 different ways. And these 4 ways that you can use a fan are very telling of the characteristics of this nakshatra. First of all, it can be used as a decorative item to hang on your wall. It's a souvenir from travels abroad. And a lot of times these fans, a lot of effort and a lot of time is put into making these fans, and they're artistic creations. They're not just utilitarian things. Also, it's used, of course, for cooling, the most quintessential use of a fan. So there's that aspect to it as well. Fans can also be used for maintaining the fire in Sagittarius, and fanning the flames, keeping the fire going, and maintaining and providing continuity. And of course, there's another way that a fan can be used, and I don't think I can demonstrate it here, but maybe I can. I've got the fan, but I can use it to hide myself. So it's it can have some of those characteristics of a little bit of secrecy, a little bit of being hidden. So it's an air element, and of course air is compatible with the fire of Sagittarius. So that goes with the fanning the flames, adding the air to the fire, and helping the fire along with that. Its sexual animal is a monkey, very, very human-like, very agile, that's probably one of the better sexual animals to have. And the myths associated with this nakshatra are a deity called Apa, which means water, who mysteriously is minding secretive and shy quality god. So it's a sort of a secretive god that goes along with this, and it's linked to the story of Aphrodite, so in more Greek mythology. So with the main ideas associated with this nakshatra are the protection of those that are dependent on you, whether that be your kids, a spouse, or just you know, pets, anyone that you look after. It could be look after through a job, and that's why it's a very kind and compassionate sign. It's firm in the force of danger. So again, you know, it has ones it needs to protect. So it's not gonna cower down to dangers. It's gonna do everything it can and be courageous for that reason, and never yield and prevail until victory. So don't, you know, not be like, oh, you know, I've already given it my 90%, so that's enough energy. I'm just going to give up now. It's not that kind of nakshatra at all. It has a forbearance and ability to endure, so just you know, a little bit beyond its own strength. It's not always the, you know, even if it's not the strongest, it'll still endure more so, and it can like spread over a danger and cover it like in the sense that water does. So traits, like I'm going to go now with some traits of people with signs like ascendant, moon, and sun, and other planets as well. But the way that these traits will apply to people with other planets in this nakshatra will more based on what that planet is. So if it's you know,
it's mainly for the moon.
But yes, okay. So mainly for the moon, but
Sun or something.
Here we go. Okay, so of all the nakshatras, they think that they can't lose, so they're very productive, and they feel invincible, and they can make themselves invincible for that reason. They can be very showy and glamorous. They're able to get through difficult times. They are persistent for keeping up things that are going on, so that's the maintaining fire side of them. People with the moon in this nakshatra tend to have a tendency to hide themselves, to not reveal everything about themselves. Whether that's facts about themselves or feelings about themselves, it all applies to the hidden aspect of it. You know, it's not necessarily, there are other signs that are more about lying, but this is more just about concealment. They have a strong notion of invincibility, so they're not going to let threats deter them. They're straightforward, just-do-it type, which makes them seem insensitive or cruel because they don't always take everything into account. They are ambitious and confident, but also philosophical. So the house that's behind Sagittarius can be philosophical, so for that reason. They have an adventurous spirit. They have trouble learning from past mistakes. They have unrealistic hopes and ambitions, or they're prone to that. So because they feel they're invincible, they'll aim sometimes higher than they're capable of aiming, but that's not such a bad thing. They have a tendency to do things without thinking, and don't really think of the consequences. You know, again, the invincibility plays in here. Sometimes they can be a little insensitive to other people and cruel, like they feel they have a responsibility for protection, so of those that are dependent on them. So if you're not dependent on them, they don't really care as much. But that's more of a that applies more if the nakshatra is not functioning well, like if there are negative malefic aspects, or there's certain conditions that can make that apply more in some people than in others. It's a fire sign, so like Sagittarius is a fire sign, so that it can kind of be show off in that respect. And then they can also, with the combination of the fire and air, will cause them to like dress, talk, and work flamboyantly, to be show-offs, but also be show-offs in feely ways, like with the way they dress, the way that they like to express themselves. They can have, they're very wise people, but they have trouble with formal education. So they might not do so well in school, more because they feel they don't like the constraints of school. And they also like to have a tendency to rise from the bottom to enjoy a good life, so they might drop out of school but end up doing okay because of it, or in spite of it. So, and they also don't really take life too seriously. They can be jovial. They have that Venusian air quality about them. So, So yeah, with all those, that's this nakshatra, and it sort of has a twin nakshatra, which will be coming up next, which will be Uttara Ashada, which then goes into Capricorn. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, and please like this video if you liked it. So see you next time. Bye.